Okay, so apparently I'm going to be doing a speed paint, but it's going to be one of those speed paints where you do the commentary over it because I have no life, and also because I have another speed paint that I need to upload, but, well, I don't want to do commentary, but it has the same music as this because I was obsessed with this music back in 6th grade and I found it again. Anyway, let us begin. Basically the idea here for this picture was I have this thing that I've been working on since late 2018. It was originally a game and then I tried making it into a comic, and at this point it's neither of those things. I'm just writing the story and I'm already on like the 4th chapter or something. This guy doesn't show up until later and he doesn't look like this when he shows up. Like, I was gonna do pictures for it and for the story. And let's just say he is not nearly this pretty when he appears, because he just isn't. Anyway, so this is the part where I'm doing line art, and in a lot of places, like, you can tell that I'm definitely using, like, I don't know how to describe the motions, but with my tablet pen, I'm like, maybe not dragging it across the tablet, but definitely more of like a flicking sort of motion, if that makes sense. I think that's what I'm doing. But in other places you can tell that I'm using this thing. I don't know what that's called, but it's a lifesaver in Metabank. But like, yeah, you can tell I'm doing that flicky thing here, and I don't know why I'm not using the other thing that I don't know the name of. It's great if you want to draw a circle, though. I think you're supposed to use a circle for another theme. I just use it when I start drawing the head. I didn't record the sketch because why would I do that? I think that's the part where I move on to drawing the background. That wall looks really weird, and I actually did a thumbnail of it in my sketchbook, and it originally actually had a light on it. I don't know why I didn't, you know, carry it over into this one. I don't remember if I actually looked at the thumbnail while I was drawing it, because I feel like that was a really stupid thing to forget, because I was looking through my sketchbook because I finished it and I started a new one, and like I was all, wait, I didn't draw the light in the finished one. Here I'm doing skyscrapers. It's gonna make sense later on, and even after I figure out how to do it. So I want to start coloring. I think usually people just color in like the person and then they do the clipping masks or whatever over it. I don't do that. As you can see, I'm gonna be having a little bit of trouble with the eyes here. I just color in the whole canvas blue. And then I make a folder and I just color inside it because I am a savage. Or something. I don't know. I just don't think a lot of people do this. Then I'm coloring in eyes. I include the little eye highlights with the actual eye. Oh, and now I'm going back to try and make it look big, I guess. Because it looks silly. You notice me using a shape tool, I think, or shape fill tool a lot. It's just because it's like, it's an easy way to fill in gaps without having to use like the paint bucket. Here you can tell I'm having trouble figuring out what color his hair is supposed to be, because whenever I wrote about him, because I never really drew him up till this point, like I made sprites of him for when I was doing the game, and I think I tried using them on here, but I didn't like the color, like the hair color. I think I wasn't too happy with the hair or the skin, because like earlier he did end up paler. Yeah, I changed my mind on a few things here, but like the hair isn't too different from how it's supposed to be. Then we shade. I found a thing on Pinterest that I guess came from a Tumblr post that you actually want to use a different color than this to shade. But I haven't tried that. I would probably use like more of a pinkish color actually if I had to use a different color that wasn't more saturated or whatever. Here I just use blue for the eyes. Like I always use blue and I always set the opacity to 11, and then for like the irises I just use the same color as the eye. Do the add blending and then just blur it and it looks really cool. Hair is just hair. I'm basically doing the same thing I did with the skin. So it's just shading, doing the same stuff that I just did. Let's see, I'm in my last month of summer break before I have to go back to school. And when I say go back to school, no, I'm just spending 5 or 6 hours on Zoom learning art. Yeah. And I have to pay for it this year. I do have financial aid, but not as much as I did the last 2 years, so I'll have to cover the rest. I looked at my book list, and I don't seem to have a lot of books right now, but I might later on. I think last year some of the teachers didn't tell us that we had books until they emailed us, and they're like, oh, I don't know what my tablet pen was doing there. It was weird. Like, I remember doing that, like, what is going on here? I still don't know. I probably need to put a new nib in the pen, so then we're moving on to color in the background. Well, actually I need to add bricks to the wall. I can't think of bricks and walls anymore without thinking of music. Yeah. Best album ever is The Wall Don't. You cannot change my mind. The Wall is great. I love it. I at work played the whole thing in its entirety, and I'm surprised he didn't get in trouble for the later songs. It's probably because there were no customers, to be honest. Oh, I'm going to do the shape fill tool here again, because I didn't feel like using the paint bucket. And then I'm trying to figure out the buildings here, like where do I put them? And then I was like, well, I need more buildings because it looks silly. Yeah, and then I had to make a new layer to put over the fence so you can actually see it against the buildings. I feel like there's a more efficient way I could have done this, but I don't know. Guys, how tired I am. I just woke up. It's like, well, when I say I just woke up, I woke up like an hour ago, but I don't talk this way. Then I'll get rid of that. I feel like I could have just put it behind all the color layers and it would have been fine, but okay. So then I do a gradient on the sky and it kind of gives it more depth, I guess. I don't know. And then just use this weird paint brush thingy on here to blend that baby out. I usually use that for clouds, but we're not working on clouds right now. But we will be. And then we do the thingy with the wall. Beautiful, it's gorgeous, I love it. Just blend it. I feel like if I don't even use that when I paint actual. And now we make clouds the same way, yay! Okay, and then we make flowers. I have a lot of brushes. I promise I've organized them since then. Since this was recorded, I now have folders. Since I was too lazy to draw flowers and I use flower brushes. I ended up using flower petals, that's what. Yeah. It looks more romantic that way. So then I just get rid of all that, and I do a signature, but it also needs to be thin so I can actually read it. And then you just blend it, or, I don't know, flatten the image, and this can be done with the chromatic aberration tool. But I'm too lazy to do that. Even though it's easier than this. Well, actually, it's not that I'm too lazy. I just like these colors better. And so then I put a noise over it that I just made in GIMP a few years back. And then, yay, we're done. Okay, and I guess this was a thing I added at the end. This is what the chromatic aberration tool looks like. I'm just gonna blur it, I guess, and it's just the same. It's just not purple, blue and yellow. Well, it might be cyan and yellow. Well, that's not the point. I just don't like the colors as much. Oh, well, I guess that was the end of that. I didn't know I could do this in OBS, so that's very cool. I love that a lot. I should probably upload that to DeviantArt, the picture I mean, so. Yay!